Hi guys. In this video, we'll talk about one of the very regularly asked question from the house owners, and the question is, what would be the budget of my work? What will be the total cost of the project? Now, to answer this, it cannot be very straightforward. See, every project is different from the earlier project. Every project has its own challenges and has its own approach. The way you are building your home, somebody else would build it in a different way. So, to give a direct amount, say your project would be 12 lakhs or 10 lakhs, it's difficult on our part. So, unless until we sit, we discuss, we understand your requirements, we discuss the materials, we cannot say what would be the budget. But yes, we can give you a rough idea. A rough idea from our earlier experience, from a few projects that we recently completed in the last couple of months. That we can help with. But to get an accurate cost of your project would be independently your project. We cannot say this project matches to that project and the cost would be approximately that. No, that cannot happen. It would be absolutely a wrong amount if I say today without knowing I can tell your project cost. That cannot happen. So, to understand how this works, what I always believe, before we jump into calculating the cost of the project, we have to do some homework. So, as an interior designer, once I listen to your requirements, once I see your space, your rooms, and understand your requirements, understand how you are going to use it, how many people are going to live there, what would be their requirements in day-to-day life, we will create 3 different columns or 3 different boxes. In the first box, we will put all the items that are mandatory, the must-haves. Now, in the second box, we will keep the items that are necessary, but a rethinking can be done. And on the third box, we will keep those things, either we don't need them now, we may need it in future, we don't know, we are not very sure of it. Second, they are the decor items. Even if today we don't need it or we don't want to afford it, maybe tomorrow we can go for it. Likewise, we'll prioritize our requirements and put them in 3 different blocks, and then we select, okay, these are the ones we definitely need it, these are the ones we may need, we may not need, and these are the ones that are not in our current requirement but in future we may need it. Accordingly, we will be in a better position to understand the budget. So if I cite an example, let's say it's a 3 BHK flat and the people who are going to live there is a young couple with a 4-year child. So they have 3 bedrooms. But right now the child lives with the parents. So even if we call this is the kids' bedroom, but that kids' bedroom will be occupied maybe after 3, 4, 5 years once he starts to go to school. Then we call the other room maybe a parent room or a guest bedroom. But now look at that room, probably this is going to be occupied just for 6, 7 days in a year. So based on these things, we have to understand in which room we should work first. That is how we set our priorities. And the other way, what we can do, say there are 10 items or 10 things that we want to do in our home, out of which there are 4, 5 things which even if we want, it would be very difficult to do it at a later stage. For example, fall ceiling. It's very difficult to do fall ceiling when the family has already occupied the room. But think about a bed. think about a wardrobe. Even if you have left one bedroom, you haven't done any work, and one day you decide, okay, I need a wardrobe and a study unit and a bed. It will take hardly 2 to 3 days to set up that thing in your house, and you are living there. The work will be done simultaneously without any hassle. But the same thing in the case of false ceiling is going to be very, very, very difficult. So this way, we have to list our requirements, we have to prioritize our requirements, and then we can work on the budget. But in 2026, we are in the early 2026, if you ask me in Bhubaneswar, in my city, if I want a very good 3 BHK flat to be done full scale, what would be the cost? Well, I would say it would range between 15 to 25 lakhs, depending on the material, the volume of the work, the kind of finishes that we are looking for, because this industry has evolved like any other industry, and now the choices are limitless. So on budget, we are there to help you. Come, sit with us, discuss with us, understand what are the things in interior designing, and our explanation will give you a clear idea about budgeting your home interiors. Thank you.